I went to China a few years ago. I'm not Chinese, but my wife is. So I've got a lot of family there. Well, a few years ago, I decided to visit my family. I hadn't met them yet, and I went by myself. Yeah, I was learning Chinese, so I knew some words. I could actually read some too. I made sure I could read important stuff like, this is the bathroom and do not enter, or pull this door, or push the door. Yeah, simple stuff like that. Yeah. Keeps you from keeps you from embarrassment. So, yeah, it was my first trip to China. So, I had to fly, and well, this is departures, but could be arrivals. So, yeah, I get to China on a plane. No problem. I go through customs. I'm not I'm not carrying anything they don't like. So, they wave me through. Okay, fine. All right. First step, I'm in Beijing. Beijing. Well, my family's in Zhengzhou. Zhengzhou. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. So my family's in Zhengzhou. So I flew to Beijing. Now I got it. Yeah, I get off the plane. Now I got to take a train. So, yeah, this train. This is the high speed rail. Yeah, China has more high speed rail than I think the rest of the world combined. Yeah, they've got a lot of high speed rail. And this thing is, well, it's just awesome. I mean, it's clean, it's fast. I mean, fast, we're talking 300 kilometers per hour. Or, I mean, if you're American, that's like 180 miles an hour. But yeah, that's fast. And if you close your eyes, you don't even realize you're moving. It's very smooth. So yeah, I had no problems. I had a ticket already. I get to the platform, and I got on the train. Yeah, pretty awesome. Actually, I I rode on more like this one. This is the more modern, the super high speed. I mean, this thing's really fast. Look at that nose. That's like some kind of bird. That thing just slices through the air. So yeah, that was great. Okay, so I take the train and we fly around from Beijing down to Zhengzhou, and now I got to take the subway because, well, sister-in-law lives way on the other side of town. And Zhengzhou, that's a big city. I mean, it's like bigger than New York City or Chicago. It's big. I don't know how many million people. 20 million, 10 million? No problem. So I got on a plane. That was easy. I got on a high speed train. Oh, that was easy. Now, let's take a subway. That should be easy. I mean, I already traveled like 14,000 miles to get here. Well, what could go wrong? Well, it is a big place. The railway stations, the subway stations. So you need to know where you are and where you're going. Yeah, see that flag? That's how you know we're in China. So no problem. I just need to get on the platform and wait for the train. Except I got to go through these first. You've seen these. Yeah, around the world. Most subways or metros. Yeah, you got to pass through these gates. And up here, I think you can see this. This little thing above the number 4. That's like a little card reader. So, you get a card. It looks kind of like a credit card. It's got a magnetic stripe or a chip, and you just hit this thing with your card. Boom, opens the door, and away you go. Okay, well, I tried that, and I got a big X, and I think it made a noise like. I was ready for the security to come running at me. Well, my card, it didn't have any money. It was all out. My sister-in-law gave me that. She mailed it to me. Forgot to charge it. So, okay, you know, this was a few years ago, so I don't have a huge Chinese vocabulary, or at that time, I didn't. But I could read, I can tell. It says, "Don't touch the door." Well, it says it in English, but I can read that, so I know better. It keeps me out of trouble. So, but now, how am I going to get on the train? Well, I need to charge the card with money. So I got my passport and I got my credit cards. So I go to the stand and I need to ask them, "Can you please charge my card?" I'd like to say, well, I spoke really well. My Chinese was fine, but no, my Chinese was terrible. But I had enough vocabulary. My grammar was terrible, but vocabulary, that's what saved me. So I just walked right up, put the card down, and said in Chinese, "Card, no money. Need money. Please give money." Uh, She just smiled, took my credit card, charged it, and that was that. So there's a lesson here. She didn't care about my grammar. She just wanted to hear the important words like card, money, no money, need money, no problem. So I think a lot of people are like that. On the street, people you work with, yeah, they don't care about your grammar as long as we can understand each other. And we did. So I'll be honest, I was really nervous. Then I got on the train and I didn't notice before, but um, I was the only white guy on the train. I mean, there are tourists and business people from the West, but in a lot of places, I kind of stand out. People look and people stare. They're friendly, but it makes me a little nervous. I feel different. And well, when I go to China, I am different. It's not my country. I'm a guest. So I just try to be polite. And when people look at me, I just smile. Eh, even try to start a conversation. Simple stuff like, "Hi, I'm from America. I lived in New York. You like basketball?" Stuff like that. Yeah, nobody cares about the grammar. So it was a nice subway ride. I got to meet some interesting people. I think we understood each other, but I was really a beginner back then. And then, eh, get off the train, and now it's out onto the street, which I really like. I didn't like being inside for that long. Inside the plane, inside a train, inside the station. Yeah, I want to get outside. I want to smell that fresh, polluted Zhengzhou air. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the China has a real air pollution problem in a lot of the cities. It's it's getting better, but it can be really bad on some days. So, but otherwise, it's nice to be outside. And again, we're in China. These people are Chinese. Me, the white guy walking down the street, eh, looks a little out of place, but no problems. Never felt a problem. Just people are friendly. So I like walking around on the street. It's busy, but it's not too crowded. There's just so much excitement. Look at all these shops, all these stores. And they got stuff inside the store. And they got stuff out on the sidewalk. And these people, they look like they're waiting around. Like maybe there's a bus stop. Yeah, it kind of looks like a bus stop. See, everybody's holding on to their bags like they're ready to do something. Yeah, this lady, yeah, maybe she's reaching for her bus pass. Oh, I don't know. And this little girl, she's on her way home from school. Or maybe she's on her way to school. Hard to tell. Yeah, same here. Oh no. What'd you do to your eye? Well, I hope that's okay. But yeah, that's another sort of school outfit. So yeah, it's fun to walk around during the day, but it's really awesome at night. The streets come alive. That's what they say. All the bright lights and the noise and the food. If you need one reason to go to China, it's the food. There's so many different types too. China's a big country. What they eat up north is not the same as what they eat down south and far out west. Well, there's a really strong Muslim influence as well. So, like, I was in the city of Xi'an. Yeah, I can pronounce that. I think Xi'an. That's where they have those terracotta warriors. I should show you a picture of that. Yeah, there's a lot of I guess you call it halal Muslim, safe to eat for Muslims, and it's delicious. You know, no pork, obviously, but lamb and goat. I even had some donkey meat. Yeah, well, I mean, eh, why not? Yeah, it was delicious. And sometimes it's best right around before it gets totally dark. Look at this place. This is just packed with people. People don't look happy either. I wonder if maybe they don't like the crowds. I don't know. Yeah, you see a lot of people on these little scooters. Most of them are electric now. When I was there, a lot of them were still gas powered. They make a lot of noise. Now, the electric ones, like this lady, she's driving a scooter. I don't know if it's electric, but they're quiet. They're silent. You can't hear them coming. So if you're going to cross the street, you really need to look both ways, or you'll get hit by some old lady in a scooter or some young dude on a scooter. Everybody, everybody drives them. Let's look at some more crowds. This looks like a tourist spot. How can we tell? Look at that. Everybody's got their camera up. Look at her. She's like, "Oh, I got to take a picture of this." Same thing with this guy. I don't know what they're taking a picture of, though. These people are eating ice cream. So it's got to be a fun time. If you can have ice cream, your day is complete. So yeah, I don't know what they're looking at, but it's important enough to take a picture. But I'll be honest, this is still a little too crowded. It's very busy. I mean, just looking at this, look at all the colors and all the people. I can almost feel them moving right now. And yeah, let's look. Everybody looks Chinese. I don't see any Westerners here. And that's common in a lot of places. The big tourist spots, the Great Wall, and you see the pandas in Chengdu. Oh, you'll see a lot of Westerners. But in some places, like this place, which I don't know where it is, it's somewhere in China. Yeah, You don't see many Westerners. Same thing in my sister's city, Zhengzhou. Zhengzhou. I, I was there for 3 weeks. I didn't see another Westerner, honest. And everywhere I went, I think the children are fascinated because, well, I look different. And they think it's very funny that this white guy can actually speak Chinese. Not very well, but um, so it's a great way to meet people. I can walk up to anybody and say, "Hi, how are you? I'm from America. Can you help me find this?" Or, where is this place? Or, what's good to eat? These are all good things to know. And if you're really lucky, yeah, I like the crowds. But if you're lucky, you can find a little side street in a smaller town. It's not so busy. It just feels relaxed. This street, look at all those bricks and stuff. It reminds me of a lot of places I've been in Europe. Old, just very old. I like that. So, yeah, I can read the important things here. It's important to know, like, this is chicken. You want chicken? I see a lot of signs for meat. Meat. So if you're hungry, this seems like a street to eat. And this must be a tourist spot because, oh, look, they've got the toilet. It's a toilet. Good, good to know. If you're traveling, you need to know where you can find a toilet. And it's nice of them to put it in English too, because I don't think most Westerners are going to be able to read that. Yeah, maybe this looks like it's the women's room, so that could be a problem. But at least I can tell the difference just from the symbol. And so that was my trip to China, and I loved it. But I'll be honest, I was just so scared before I left because I didn't know a lot of Chinese. I knew some, and I could read some, and it helped. But before I got there, I was really scared. And afterwards, I was very happy. I also knew that I needed to study more. And more than that, I needed to talk more. I needed to talk more and listen more to native speaking Chinese. And that's what I do. So I'm going back to China next year. Gonna see my mother-in-law. She's like 90 years old. Well, I'm looking forward to that. And this time, we're gonna have a really long conversation in Chinese.